Hey everyone, in this week we're going to talk about different applications that teachers can use to support their lessons, to support their course, and to make the whole studying process much more interesting, fun, engaging, and up to date. One of the applications that we really love to use in our school called Quizlet. The application is actually one of the oldest applications in this category, where students work with flashcards, learn words. Quizlet is widely used in the US schools and universities, as well as in the language schools all around the world. Let me show you how it works and how it can be used. Um, so, Quizlet has two versions, the desktop version, as you can see here right now on the screen, and the application version. Application version has, the desktop version is the fullest version. The application version has some um, limitations, so it's always better, at least for the teacher. For student, it is better to work from the app, but for the teacher, it's better to work from the desktop. So how it works, you register and you will have a free account. But you also can subscribe for the teacher's account, which will give you different benefits. You can read them here. Um, so, the free version is pretty good. We just have a lot of commercials, advertising. But you can try a free trial. It's $20 a year, so not that expensive, but it really helps in the learning process. So here, that's how the main screen looks. In order to create sets with words, you will have to create a class or a course. You can call it, for example, Natalia Elementary. Words from the lessons. So, you can write here anything you want. You will also have to create the school, but you can call it, Dana School, ICEA School. It doesn't matter. It will be just listed in the settings. You can allow your students to add new modules or new members. If it's just one person, you delete the tick here. You create the course, and then there's nothing here. So it's just the name, the link that you can send to the student so he will join, and that's it. You can also connect it to Classroom here. So when you will upload something in Quizlet, it will be automatically, there will be an announcement that the new Quizlet set was added to the class. You can also add notifications here. It works mostly for the students. If you have a lot of classes, you can get notifications about when students work with the modules, but for the beginning, it's not important. In order to create the module, you click this blue button here. You can add the module you should already have in your own folders, or create a new one. You write the name of the module, for example, basic verbs. And the main principle is these flashcards. For example, to go et. So on one side, this is one of the classic usage of the flashcards. You have English word on one side and a Russian word on another. The translation to clean. And if you click here and you select the Russian language, click Russian, and click this, turn these suggested definitions, it will automatically give you the translation. So it's really, you can very quickly create sets. If you have a list of words, let's say in a text format, you just click this, import, you add the word, you have a text that you copy and paste here. You just do some settings. What's the how to divide term and the definition, and what's the symbol between cards. Everything is pretty clear, pretty simple. I will always use import because it's much faster rather than just typing everything yourself. If you have your own teacher's account, you can actually add the recording, the pronunciation of your own, because the Quizlet will use this robotic voice. It's pretty clear, but still it's a robotic voice, artificial, but you can add your own. So yeah, what you do, you click the space bar to go. It's here, then you can listen to it. Yeah, that's it. You do that. Идти. It works. I mean, you don't have to use it. It's better if you add your own pronunciation if it's a phrase, because the robot voice will just read it very quickly without right intonations, proper intonation. But you can do it only if you pay for the account. So you can delete. Don't need that. You go. Just click on something else. It will be closed. So let's add something else. To have. Like that. To do. Okay. Then you create the set. There's also an opportunity to add, let's say, any image. And I would like to add, I don't know, for example, this image of myself. The idea of, it's called diagram. So what you have to do, you add the dot, you add it here, for example. What is it? It's title, right? Title. What's it in Russian? It's like a logo, right? Okay. You add it. Good. So when students will click on that, they will see this pop-up card. You can add this thing and add the same description to the object. You can add the figure. But again, it depends on your creativity and how you can, what kind of ways you can think of, what kind of images you can use in order to create the set. But again, it's not necessary, of course. To delete that, you just click this and delete the image. Nothing will be saved. You create the module. See, it's already in the class. You can send the link. You can publish in the classroom. You can publish in Remind, but we'll talk about Remind later. Okay. When your students will use the class, you can check their progress. But again, only if you have a teacher's account. So you will see what kind of parts of the application they used, and there are several parts, several things they can do in the app. They can do this learning, which is a mix of all the activities you can do in the app. Cards, writing, listening, tests. It's kind of like a self-learning system which adapts to students' mistakes and so on. Flashcards is something students just, they can flip the cards, listen to them. Writing is when they listen to they actually see the word, they have to write a translation or vice versa. This is the same, but they listen to the word. Tests is something you can also check the results of it, and 2 games. Live is something you can use in the groups, but it's a whole nother topic. You should try it, and you need to have at least 4 students to play it. It's better if you play it when you work with in the actual class. When you work online one-on-one, you don't need that, and you will actually not be able to use it. What else? You can duplicate combined with another set, you can duplicate it, you can copy that. You can add it to other courses, you can add it to one of your folders, and students can do the same. Let me show you how the results look like when you results of the class. So this is one of the Caspis class. I will go to one of the sets. I hope they worked with. They work with it. Nope. Let me choose one of the oldest ones. Okay, for example, this one. Okay, well, you go to the progress of the class. As you can see, nobody worked with the set. Oh, because it's not my group, yeah. Well, still, nobody worked with the set for some reason. But when students will work with, you will see, for example, 25% here, 100% here, the result here, what's the record in the game, and so on. And you can control when students do the task or when they don't, and there's no way for them to lie to you if they worked with the application or not. Everything is transparent. Just you need to buy the teacher's account. To do that, again, it's somewhere around 20 bucks a year. I would really recommend using Quizlet because it can be also used not for learning words but also for learning grammar. For example, here you can write the sentence where you will have a gap, and on the right, like on the next another side of the card, you can have not a translation but the word which student needs to write in order to fill in the gap. For example, you from, and here can be where are, right? So in order to mark the gap, you can just use any symbol like a star, underspace, and so on. You can also use the word and the picture. The word and the picture without translation also can work out. You can use the, let's say, it will be here, BRV, only consonants, and here they have to write the full word, brave. So as long as your creativity, I mean, it depends on your creativity. If you need some ideas on how to create interesting Quizlet set, just you will be given the examples in the next video lesson. Then we'll talk about other applications, and it can be also combined with Quizlet. That's all for today. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.